Yo, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to optimize your PC, so let's get right to it. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to have you guys do is download the link down in the description. It'll link you to this pack, and in this pack, I have everything that you'll need. So let's start with cleanup, first thing in the pack. So first thing for cleanup, open up your auto runs, and in this, you basically just want to disable any services on here that are not necessary to your computer. So you can look through this slowly, see what I have checkmarked and not checkmarked to give you an idea, as well as any files that are highlighted yellow like this one is. You can right click those and delete them. They're just files that your computer can't even find. So moving on now, download BleachBit and Malwarebytes. And in BleachBit, after you fully download it, just checkmark everything in deep scan except for your thumbs, and then hit clean. It'll say done, like right here. Once that's done, go ahead and exit out of that. And then Malwarebytes, open that up next. And in your Malwarebytes, before running your scan, go into settings, go down and uncheck these two right here. Then you can go back to your dashboard and then scan, run that. And then for these are all just window settings that I'm going to have you turn off. And then for this, just make sure your scaling is at 100 and not like 125 or some weird shit. And for graphic settings, you want to go into this. You want to make sure this is on. And then on your desktop apps, browse and find your Fortnite shipping client. And then go into that, set options, and set that to high performance and save that. And that's all you need to do for that one. And then we can move on to startup apps. That'll open your task manager. You want to make sure to disable any startup apps in here if they aren't necessary to your computer, even ones that are like your mouse binds and shit. Alright, and then from that, uninstall apps you don't need. Just go ahead and go through this list and uninstall anything that looks unnecessary. Then disk cleanup, I'm sure you guys have all done that. Just go through that, check mark what's necessary on here, what you want to delete, and then okay that. And then same with defrag and optimize your drives. Just open that and hit optimize on all your drives. From that, go into these files right here. All of these are just click files, and then see they're just done. There are two in here that I'll have to walk you through. So the first one being this tweaking script. You basically want to say yes to everything in here except for 3 key items. Your Windows search, which is this first one. Then the next one is telemetry services. You want to say no to that. And then also your task scheduler. Say no to that. And then moving on from that, you're going to want to right click this last file and hit run with PowerShell. Then once you're done with all that, come out of that and go into this to debloat your driver. Then you want to go into this and go into display driver uninstaller. Inside of this, just hit no. This is a working version. It's just trying to update the version. So once you're in this, go ahead and go to GPU on your select device type, and then click NVIDIA, and then click clean and do not restart. So once that's done, your monitor may flick or whatever, but once that's done, just go back to the pack, go back into this original folder, and then go into NV clean install. Once you go into this, you want to go to manually select a driver. And then out of these driver versions, the most recommended for Fortnite is the 461.92. So go ahead and click on the 4.6.92 and then hit next. And then right here, you want to make sure to check mark what I check mark. Otherwise, you're going to fuck up your system. So you want to check mark NV container and telemetry, as well as GeForce Experience if you do use that. Then you want to scroll down and check Node.js and NV backend. So once you have all of those check marked, you can hit next. And then let that new driver completely install. Okay, and once you fully installed your new driver, it'll come up with another prompt and just select perform a clean installation. Click yes to installing it and GeForce Experience, as well as clicking Express Installation to finally install that. And with that as well, once you have GeForce Experience, make sure not to download the newest driver because it is not as optimized as the driver I just had you download. The next thing is your game optimizer. You're just going to want to take these files and drag them onto your desktop. What these files do is they maximize your CPU's performance. So right now you see I'm only using 20%, but if I ramp that up by hitting play a game, you can see my CPU gets maxed out at 100%, and it also ramps up any tasks that I'm using at the moment. So it basically puts in more output for the tasks you have active. Alright, so your next thing is your GPU settings. I have a NVIDIA graphics card, but I put graphics for every single one of these. What you want to do is go into this. I have the experience download in this as well as the RTX voice download. This will cancel any fans or background noise in your mic. As well as that, click this entry for your registry entry. This will unhide a setting in your NVIDIA graphics card. And then you basically just want to click on this now. You just want to set it to these settings I have copied. Threaded optimization. If you have a good PC and you know you have a good PC, I'd recommend turning this on. Recommend leaving low latency off if you have a good PC. If you have a bad PC, turn optimization, threaded optimization off, and then turn low latency test on versus ultra. And then open GLU, select your GPU, obviously. If you have a G-Sync monitor, leave it at fixed refresh rate. You don't want to enable G-Sync. It adds input delay for smoother gameplay, and you get less frames out of it, and it's not really worth it. So basically just take all these settings and copy them to your control panel settings. As well as that, you also want to go to change desktop and then set this to no scaling. Uncheck mark this box and make sure this is perform scaling on display. And then make sure you have your resolution and refresh rate on, obviously. And as well as that, you can also go into your adjust color settings and change your digital vibrance and then set this to all channels and then set your digital vibrance to 50. And then as well as that, you can, in your actual 3D settings, go into your program settings and select your Fortnite specifically, and then basically just copy those exact settings over to this just to make sure it's working for the actual application as well. Alright, then your next thing is your optimization tweaks. You basically just want to go through all these and click them. The only one that's going to be weird for you, the Mark C Windows, you basically just want to click OK through all of this stuff. It's just changing your Windows settings. So once you've gone through all of these and clicked OK to all of them, you want to go into Power Optimizations. And I use Adam X's power plan. He just has the most optimal power plan because he's gone through every single tweak setting. When you do this as well, it's not foolproof that this is going to work as far as the deletion of other power plans. So as well as that, when you import your Adam X power plan, make sure to have this downloaded into the C drive, because when you actually click on this, it's going to take this from the C drive, this other folder at the bottom. It's going to take the actual power plan from the C drive and put it into your power plans. So that's the most important thing, is actually just getting his power plan in your power plant options, and then from that, if you have any other power plants on here and they didn't delete through the actual file right here, you're gonna have to actually go into your edit power options, select your Atom X power plan, make sure you're using that, and then any other power plan that's on this list, go to change plan setting, and then right around here should have the option to delete the power plan. So you'll have to manually do it, but it's better than even having those power plans. So once you're done with that, let's go to the next thing, which is the tweaking apps. This is the biggest thing. You're basically gonna want to just copy every single setting I have in these apps. So starting with your performance options, go ahead and open that. Set this to adjust for best performance and then apply it, and then set it to custom and select these 3 boxes and then apply it again. As well as that, go to your advanced and adjust your best performance for programs rather than backgrounds, and then apply for that as well. And then that's all you need to do for that. This is add-on. This basically just is another registry entry that optimizes your PC. I recommend changing to this one, the one by Atom. So once you're done with that and have it change to that, you can just close out of this. You don't even need to minimize it. Next one is msconfig. Just make sure you have selective startup checked as well as these 2 boxes. And then from that, go into your services, check this box down here, hide all Microsoft services. All of these, besides like core really important ones like the Intel, NVIDIA drivers and shit like that, uncheck every single one but those. And then once you're done with that, go over here into boot, go into advanced options, check your number of processes, and then go into this and make it the highest number in this column, and then press OK on that, and then also select this no GUI boot and then hit apply, and you're good for all those settings. It'll ask you to restart your computer. After this, just hit exit without restarting. We'll restart our computer after we're done with everything. Next one, change sound settings. Just make sure in your actual device that you're using for your speakers, go into properties, go into enhancements for that, disable all enhancements, as well as go to your advanced, change your quality to a 16-bit 4800, as well as that, deselect these boxes down here, go ahead and hit apply. You might lose sound or not be able to hear anything for a second. Just disable this device and then re-enable it, and you'll be able to hear again. Okay, and then from that, this is one of the most important ones. It's your flitter keys. Set this to 0, 150, 25, and then make sure you have on checkmarked, available checkmarked, and then save to registry checkmarked, and then hit apply. And then what that does is, you can see me typing here, it just sets your typing time for every single tick to a 40th of a second. And then ISLC, go ahead and download that. I already have it open on my PC, so we're just going to go into this. Then once it's open, you're going to take your total system memory that's free and take that by half, and then take that value and put it here. So that half for me is 8,000. Copy and paste it into here. Check mark these 2 boxes. Make sure that your current timer res is 0.5 rather than 0.496. If you have this still at a 0.496, you need to go back into your optimization tweaks and then recheck this latency BCD tweaks, and then it should fix that. As well as that, you want to make sure you have your enable timer resolution on, and then set this one in timer resolution value to 0.50, and then you can hit start on this, as well as your polling rate to 1,000, and then hit start on that and minimize that, and that'll start every single time you start your PC now. Another thing you can download if you want to, it's completely optional, but it's MSI Afterburner. once you have MSI Afterburner, just go ahead and open it. It also comes with this app as well once you download it, which is a necessary app that I'm going to have you download in this as well, the Riva Statistics Tuner. In the actual Afterburner app though, just go ahead and crank this to full as well as your temp limit. If you have a little arrow in between this for the priority, set your priority from power limit, just click it and it'll set to temp limit. You want to prioritize your temp limit. And then as well as that, check mark this auto right here and then set your fan speed to 80. And then go ahead and check mark that to apply them. And then also make sure this is highlighted. So this will, if this is highlighted, this will start each time your window starts. And then you can go ahead and minimize that. And then, like I was saying with the Riva Statistics Tuner, you want to go into that, set this to on so it starts each time you start your windows. Set your detection level to high, doesn't really matter at all. And then set your frame limit to something you know your computer can handle at a consistent rate. I have a 240 hertz monitor, so I know I can cap this to 200 and have it be a stable frame limit. You want to have stable frames rather than high frames. And then as well as that, set your scaline sync to -30. And then make sure to turn your screen display support off. And then that's good for that app. Go ahead and minimize that. Next thing, MSI Utility. Any app in here that is going to have MSI next to its supported modes. So you can see like my line base doesn't. So that's the only app on here that I don't have checkmarked. Any other ones you want to have checkmarked to be using this MSI utility for. And then as well as that, you want to recognize what adapter you have for your Ethernet. And then you can tell that by clicking the start button and going to device manager, going to network adapter, and then right here it'll say Realtek, Killer, Broadcom, or Intel is the adapters you could possibly have. So pinpoint what adapter you have and then recognize that in this, set your priority on that to high, as well as your graphics card. Set your priority on that to high. Go ahead and apply that, and you can exit out of that. And go into setup on here. From mice, go to all. And then you can see every single one of your USB devices. So you want to pinpoint your mouse and keyboard USB device, and then in this right here, let's say it's like a default one right here. So on this default, you want to click down here and set that to 1000 on your keyboard and your mouse, so they're running as fast as possible. And then you can exit out of that. And then the last thing is this TCP Optimizer. Basically, just open this up, and what you're going to want to do is run a speed test. So what you guys want to do from that is take your download speed and cap your maximum connection speed to whatever your download speed was. So like mine was a 94, so I'm going to cap mine at a 90. As well as that, make sure you have your Ethernet adapter selected, and make sure you have your PPPoE selected as well. Then from this, if you want to change any of these settings down here to what I have, go to custom, and then you can actually change them. Make sure you have all of these set to what I have. And then as well as your advanced settings as well. Set this all to what I have. And then as well as that, go into your MTU latency. Click largest MTU. And then right here, it'll give you your largest MTU. Mine is 1492. So what you want to do from that is I'll give you guys the commands down low, but go into your start, type in CMD, and run this as an administrator. Then from this, you want to take the commands I have down low. This first command will basically disable auto tuning and get rid of your buffer bloat so it can auto tune through the actual TCP app. The next one will show your net sub interface. So I'm going to copy and paste that command into here. And then from that, I'm just going to replace the added values into what I need. So right here, you're making your NIC what your actual interface provider is. So for me, it's Ethernet. It most likely will be for you guys as well. And then into this value right here, you just want to type in what your largest MTU is. So mine was 1492. And then hit enter, and that will okay that. And then as well as that, use this command as well, and this will disable your power throttling. And then that's all. Okay, then from that, I have these registry edits. You basically just want to take this command right here and copy it, hit your Windows button and R, type in reg edit, and then you just want to paste that exact command into the top right here. So once you copy and paste it and hit enter, you can see it actually opens what we're trying to open right here. And this is your network throttling. You want to change your network throttling from FFF to 10. Now FFF is uncapped and lets your network go as fast as possible, which causes more buffer bloat like what we saw in the actual speed test. You do not want that. So setting it to 10 is the lowest value for throttling while it's still being throttled. Okay, then the next thing is your actual memory management. Just copy and paste that as well into this top. And then with this, you're going to have this first one, most likely the feature settings, but you're going to have to right click this and click new D word. And then you can see in this as well, you can add your D word feature settings override and feature settings override mask. I'll have those down in the description as well as what to set them to right after them. So same thing with your current driver searching. Just set that to a 0. That should be in there. Windows Update, exclude drivers update, set that to a 1. That should be self-explanatory. Here's one that's not going to be as explanatory. Your keyboard parameters. So when you actually go to your keyboard parameters, you most likely won't have your parameters tab in this. Or maybe it's for your mouse as well. Either way, it's the same concept. So what you want to do is click on the actual KB D class, go to new, and then go into key. And then that will add a whole new value down here. And then you basically just want to call that value parameters. And then from that, you can add keyboard mouse data queue size. And then for the last thing is go ahead and go into your file explorer and locate your Fortnite folder. Mine is saved into my C drive. So go ahead and click into it. Fortnite game, binaries, Win64, and go down to the actual Fortnite application, which is the Win64 shipping, first one. Go and click that, go into properties, go into compatibility, disable full screen optimizations, as well as go into change hide EPI. Make sure this box is checkmarked, and then make sure applications is selected. Then hit OK on that, and hit apply, and then OK. Okay, so go into your adapter options and go ahead and disable any other devices you see on this that isn't your Ethernet network. So go into this, go into properties, make sure and uncheck mark every single one of these that isn't Internet Protocol version 4. As well as that, go into the Internet version 4 properties, In this, set your DNS to the Google DNS. As well as that, go to Advanced, go into Wins over here, and then make sure you have this uncheckmarked as well as this set to disable. That's good for that. And then as well as that, go into Configure. Make sure and go into Power Management and have this uncheckmarked. Alright, so once you're done with that, go to your Advanced tab, and I'm going to go through every single one of these. If you do have like a not so strong internet signal, I do recommend enabling flow control as well as interruption moderation. If you have a pretty strong connection though, I'd recommend the settings I have. So I'm just going to go through these as quick as possible. Most of these are like energy efficient, saving and you might even have different properties on here than me, considering every single adapter is different. And that's pretty much it.